Hello traders, welcome to another edition of your weekly Forex Focused Trade Forex with Gabe. We'll be looking at the trade setups for December 19th to December the 23rd. As always, we'd like to start first with the currency strength meter to see what are the best matchups we will be trading for the week. As we can see here, Swiss franc continues to gain strength with 2.4. NZD lost some strength to 1.7, Euro 1.6, and we saw dollar moving out from the bearish region to the positive section. And we still see Canadian dollar still losing more strength, Australian dollar gaining, losing more strength. Last week it was about 0.7, now it's at negative 1.2, so coming up top on the pair. So we'll be looking at the trade setups. Also have Japanese yen gaining strength from oversold and moving up to bearish to neutral. Let's look at the economic calendar to see exactly what we have for the week. Last week was the major event we had. This week is pretty clear of high impact news. Last week we had the CPI from the US. We also have the Fed's FOMC data, and also we had the interest rates coming out from Europe, from England, all through last week. This week, pretty much not much to anticipate. Just what we have is monetary policy rate from Japan. This has remained the same, unchanged for quite a long time. So we're not expecting any much of an impact on this. What else? On Wednesday, not much of an impact. The median CPI coming out from Canada, and then we'll have the Christmas break. Well, before the Christmas break, so let's look at the trade setups for the last active trading week for the year. So let's jump right in on the chart, starting with the dollar index. What we have here, we see the dollar, the bulls defending the 104.007 level, which is coming from that rate hike we had, and also the CPI data coming out better than expected. So I'm expecting the dollar to rally up towards the 105.80 level. This does not mean that we are going to be seeing all bullish dollar, but at the interim, I believe we're going to see the dollar rally up after being defended by the bulls around this 104.00 level. And this will inform a lot of the trading decisions we'll be having for the week, since the Feds have hiked rates. So I'm expecting dollar to have some rally. So next on the line is oil. Well, by the way, I forgot to show you exactly the trade setups, my preferred trade setups for the week. Let's go back to the currency strength meter of the presentation. So the trade setups for the week for me, dollar index, of course, I use it as a measure to know exactly what to trade. Oil, WTI, West Texas intermediaries is good. Euro AUD, fantastic setup. AUD CHF, good. EurCad, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, Japanese yen, NzdJpy, and NzdCad. Now we have some good setups on AUD, NZD, USD-CAD, and AUD, USD, but these are less priority trades. For me, I will be looking at all of these, and I'll show you exactly what my setups are for these trades. If you like it, why not you find your own entry points? But I will be showing the general setups, the general structure of these top Forex market setups for the week. So let's go back to the chart. And looking at dollar index, we've already analyzed this, looking for dollar to continue to gain strength along these channels. And on WTI oil, we see oil began to sell off from last week. We had some rallies, but then with the dollar gaining strength, I believe, and I see the structure still being to the downside. You see, we've been having lower highs, lower lows, and again, oil fails to create a higher high at this point. So I'm believing the structure, okay, that oil will continue to sell off at least to the 68.16 level. Okay. Now, look at it from the bigger picture. Let me show you that. So you see how the structure have been. We've been respecting this downwards channel. And again, looking at H4 to see exactly what structure we're trading. This is my belief. This is what I see respected, and the structure will continue to go down. So for those that want to be conservative, probably you're looking at the first setup, which will be at the 70.21. So when price takes out the last low, then we expect it to drop to 68.16 and further down to 65.70. So that's my trade setups. Really nice setup for on oil WTI for the week. Euro AUD, let's look at what Euro AUD, fantastic setup last week. We saw price, with broke here with huge momentum. Let me show you exactly what this looks like. So we can see this is a continuation pattern, pure textbook setup, rallies. Then we have the rectangle pattern, a breakout from a channel should see price travel the distance of the channel, and that's to the 1.60406 level. So let's go down to the H4 chart. So any pullback we see down to the breakout region should give us a good entry point all the way up to our profit target, which is 1.6040 level. This is top priority trade for me. I will be going in on this trade as soon as market opens. Australian dollar, Swiss franc. Now, this is another interesting trade setup. Last week, our target was the 0.62143 level. You see exactly how price got to that level, took our profit, and now we're having some little bit of a correction. Now, let me show you the bigger picture. Look at what we had from last week. We analyzed it, and I said, watch out for the break of this trend line. And you can see how that broke with momentum, okay? I broke with momentum, took out our target. So going into the week, I will expect to see some correction probably to this. I'm giving you another zone. You can see that we also have a breakout from a channel. So this is really nice. So you can target the distance of this channel to the downside. And if price will make some correction to this part or towards the to this symmetric triangle, so any of this part, I expect price to begin its journey again down to our target level. So let me take this out. So my target is to the 0.6133 level, Australian dollar, Swiss franc, really high priority trade for me going into the week. Euro Canadian dollar. Now, Euro Canadian dollar last week, we didn't trade this last week. But then we traded it. We were particularly looking for price to rally up to this point, but we didn't have any much movement into the week. We just had more of sideways movement. So going into the week, I will wait to see price break away from this resistance trend line up to the 1.4612 level. This trade setup is really nice. As you can see, price has been traveling on this channel up pattern. So any breakout, and expect it to break with momentum, then you target the 1.4612 level. Canadian dollar continues to be weak. Euro lost some strength, but I believe this week it will still outperform what it did last week. So with the rate hike, this should give us a good outlook for more bullish euro into the close of the year. Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, last week we took out our target. As you can see, we traded, we were short on CadChf. And of course, right now I will expect some correction. Let me take this out. That's the Trend Rider Pro. I will expect some correction up before expecting price to take out. Well, this target was taken out last week, so let me take it out. So this week, I will expect to see price drop again after some correction, probably up here. Okay, we'll see price make some correction up to this key point of resistance before making it down again to our target of 0.6742 level. Let's go to Swiss franc, Japanese yen. Swiss franc, Japanese yen. Last week, took out our target. No, it's almost. This is this week's target. Our target for last week was here. Yes, 148.84. Price rallied but couldn't make it there before we had, this major correction. Into the week again, I will be looking to go long on this pair. Really nice setup from last week. So going long on this pair, my immediate target will be for price to take out last week's high, which is 148.491, and then get up to the 148.84 level. Well, if price is able to get us to this level, this is already 217 pips. But I'm bullish on Swiss franc Japanese yen, and it's a good setup leading up to the close of the year for me. NZD Japanese yen. Now, I think this was the trade I was referring to. We pretty much did not go anywhere, but it's still very much bullish. I like the setup, and I will still be looking to go long on this pair towards the 88.14 level. Now, if you want to get a nice entry on this pair, it would be good to watch for the breakout. So things like this is really important. You try to find the key points of resistance. Now, let's use this part. Okay, look for the key points of resistance, and price breaks from here. Look for the last low and set your stop loss as we target the 88.14 level. So this way you will get a good risk to reward ratio once you get that confirmation break with momentum. Okay, let's look at NzdCad, another interesting pair. Now, don't forget, we've been warning on this pair. It's pretty much extended. Look at that. It's been really, really extended, but it's not losing steam anyway. So I won't be so aggressive on this pair at the moment. I would like to see some nice correction into the trend line again. Then I would like to go long with price is able to, make correction into the spots just to get that good risk to reward ratio from the last low. Okay, from the last low. So entering from here will give us a better risk to reward ratio up to the key target, which is 0.8805 level. Okay. Australian dollar, New Zealand, nice setup again. I'm looking to short this pair towards the 1.0319 level. Australian dollar gained some strength into the lost it's still losing strength. It lost more strength into the week. So NZD, I believe it's going to outperform it. Really good. So Australian dollar is like the best performing pair because it moved from negative to more negative regions. So it's increasing in its weakness. So any pair stronger than it will outperform it big time. So any correction into the trend line will be a good point for us to look to short this pair so we can get a good risk to reward ratio from the last high at this point. Okay, so this is my setup. Now, lastly, Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Now, this pair, you can see um, it contradicts the currency strength meter. But then last week, I look at that Australian dollar, Japanese yen. But all the same, last week we analyzed this pair and I showed you that this is a head and shoulder pattern, and that we should look forward to short this if price is able to break from this channel or pattern. We saw how that panned out. That break happened. We took out our target 91.34 level. Now this week I'm still looking to go short on it and wait for some correction before I will be looking to go short towards the 90.53 level. Now let's look at gold. So this particular pair, well, it's because of the risk on, risk off mode that the market may be going into. So Japanese yen being a high risk off pair, while Australian dollar being a high risk on pair. So both of them have a nice setup based on this. So with the risk off, if market is going into risk off as we are anticipating, everything is showing all indications that market is going into risk off, meaning capital flight into safe haven assets. We will expect Japanese yen to gain more strength while Australian dollar losing more strength. And this is why this pair is really, really interesting for me. In case you're looking and have the same bias as I do, means we should be shorting all the way to 90.53 level. And let's look at gold finally. Gold, we are at a major key point of resistance. As you can see, let me take it to H4. Now, of course, I like to trade using the channel line, but what we see here, we are having more what traders call the rising wedge, which is a reversal pattern. Okay, so you can see the red trend line here, squeezing price and forming that wedge pattern, and in this case, a rising wedge. So as dollar in this case for this week, I am of the bias that dollar is going to rally, so meaning this will push gold down. So I'll be looking to short gold once I begin to see price break below these key levels. Okay, so in case you're a gold fan, this is your analysis for the week. And lastly, US dollar, Canadian dollar price broke out from here, of course, achieved our target. This is on the daily charts. This pair has been long analyzed. When we had the dollar correction, so we saw this, but we see dollar beginning to gain strength again. So for me, I will look to trade this pair along the path of this channel. So let me give you the levels. So this is what I'm looking at. So just a moment. Yep, good. All right, so there we go. Yeah, there we go. So any correction down to this level, I will like to push. So we're still a bit long way from our target, but then price will continue, I believe will continue to trade along the path of this channel up to our level of 1.3891 level. So traders, this next week we won't be having the weekly forex analysis, as it will be Christmas Eve, and even next week, upper week, which will be the New Year Eve. So I wish all the best. This could be the concluding part of our trading analytics for the year, and we will resume in the new year again. All the best. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. Thank you, traders. Thank you all. Have a great day.